Habari. So what does habari mean? Habari means hello in Swahili. Don't guys, we talked about this last time, how I have a hard time coming up with an opening for my YouTube videos. I just don't know how to open this up, right? What do I say? So I decided to say hello in all these different languages in order to open the videos. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, I think it's a half decent idea. I'm sure it's been done a million times, but let's do it like this habari Swahili. So now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is video just for you and me, really. And it's about fitting in, fitting into society, fitting in to your own skin, I guess. But have you ever felt like you don't fit in? I mean, I have been struggling with this pretty much all my life. It wasn't that important for some reason when I was a teenager. I will tell you why in a minute, but I really struggled with it later on in my life, and I'm still struggling with it. With 60 years old, I'm still trying to fit in. But then fit into what? See, this is what I've been thinking about. Well, what don't I fit into? Well, I don't fit into what? A mold? What society wants me to be? Or does it mean I don't have a tribe? Those are the things that, first of all, I think you have to realize and think about yourself. Okay, where don't I fit in? I don't fit in with my family. I don't have any friends. Do I fit into myself? Because fitting in, or I should say not fitting in, is usually a very unique thing. The people that fit in are pretty much all the same. They're all the same tribe. And if you don't fit in, that usually means you're fairly unique. And the uniqueness is something that you should embrace. The uniqueness, you being unique, is very cool and it's very admirable because a lot of people want to be unique. A lot of people lately, or within the last 20 years or whatever, or even in the 60s, the 70s, they didn't want to fit in. I'm doing my own thing was a big one in the 70s and the 60s, I think. So when I grew up, my thing was James Dean. And for the people that don't know who James Dean was, I'll gonna put a picture right here, and you'll see who James Dean was. He was this actor, and his thing was he's really cool. He's an outsider. He's a loner. So my room in Germany was covered in James Dean posters, and I adored him. And I remember distinctly sitting there on the floor one day listening to I can't remember what, um, but just thinking, you know what, I want to be like James Dean. I want to be a loner. I that's it. I'm gonna be a loner. And it was a decision that I made in my mind back then, and I think it kind of shaped my whole life, maybe into that little corner where I was. Now I didn't realize that this would really shape my future when I said that to myself. But I also wanted to be unique because I found him very unique. So, how do you get out of it? How do you increase your self worth? And how do you stay authentic to yourself? That's a bit of a mountain we're going to have to tackle, I think. So, for me, like I said, I never really fit in high school. I was just doing my own thing. I was a loner. I almost enjoyed it, to be honest. I enjoyed being not me. I thought I was James Dean. I thought I was playing a part. And I think that's one of the things that you can always try to do when you really think that you don't fit in anywhere and you feel like you're nothing. You are something. You are very important to somebody, and you should be important to yourself. But if you're really ultimately low down, why don't you guys pick somebody that you want to be and you start acting that role? I mean, don't do it that you lose yourself, but take certain cues. Take certain way that person dresses, maybe it doesn't have to be over the top. It could be a new pair of shoes. It could be I don't know, a scarf, a belt, a new shirt. But to you it's an obvious sign of who you're trying to be, so that is change. Now you playing your life as a movie, basically. That's what I did for many years. I played a movie in my head. Is that a good way to do it? No, because you don't find a tribe, or maybe you will. That's the thing. There is a lot of people out there, and I always say Why don't you take that mask off when you talk to me? Because we're all wearing a mask. I used to have a mask for work. I had a work laugh. I had certain masks for certain people that I associated with. Because inside myself, I was still James Dean. I was still that loner. And so, I mean, I think what you have to do is you have to embrace, you literally have to embrace your uniqueness. You have to embrace the uniqueness that society offers you. Depending on what country you live in, you can be as unique as you want. Now, that is up to you to develop your own uniqueness, but that should keep you busy for a while. And again, it's almost like connecting to that invisible friend. My invisible friend was James Dean. I remember a friend of mine, okay, that's going. So, anyways, I went to the States, 81 to 82. I was in San Gabriel, California. I went to high school. And probably 4 out of 10 girls wanted to be like Pat Benatar. She was famous. She had the hair, she had the clothes. So one day a girl would show up and totally looking like Pat Benatar. And then there were other girls, they really wanted that look. So, all of a sudden there's like 3, 4 Pat Benatars running around in my high school. And eventually those girls started bonding with each other, which was really weird because then, you see a lunch table full of Pat Benatars. And I'm not saying you have to go that deep, but what I'm saying is you're not alone, even in your uniqueness. Even you feel you're alone, you're not. There's somebody out there that's doing it right now. They're starting to play their life as a bit of a role. I mean, let's be honest. How many people are honest? How many people are secure in their being? I'm not. I'm definitely not. Did I find my tribe? No. I found my family. But that comes later. Did I have friends? Not really. No. I had acquaintances. I had people that I would hang out with. Um, I would people have people that I drank with, drinking buddies. But those drinking buddies didn't last, sad to say. That's how I bonded in university, by drinking and smoking pot and being a typical student in the 80s. And so the people that I hung around with wasn't really the best influence on myself because they brought me down, really. I would almost think it hurt my uniqueness because I was trying to fit in and I would party with them and I would get drunk and laugh and do stupid things. And then I get home, I have a hangover the next day, and I still don't know who I am. Deep down inside, I'm still James Dean, that loner. And then I realized that once I left university, well, that didn't work anymore. So now I got to enter the workforce. And in the workforce, it's a little bit different. You don't hang out with buddies. You don't hang out with this. It gets competitive. Now, the one thing you guys have to remember, I was a baby boomer, last generation, 1963, and so everything was a competition. Every job you applied for was a competition. Every new job was a competition because you wanted to maybe be the one that gets promoted. It's very different nowadays. There's help wanted sign everywhere. When I was at that age, there was no help signs. It was very rare for you to walk into somewhere and they say, we're looking for somebody. And especially if we're talking different careers like aviation, impossible. I struggled for years trying to find a job. So again, my uniqueness came back, I would say, but it branched out into other things. I really got interested in Buddhism. I got interested in, improving yourself, working on your thinking, then that wave with The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, which is still a great book. So I kind of went into that direction. But again, that's not fitting in necessarily. That's being unique. But it got me through a couple of years by still being unique, still haven't found my tribe, and still didn't really have anything except myself. And how do I say that? I think by being unique, by our uniqueness, we cultivate a certain amount of self confidence. And it is all about self confidence. Anybody can have self confidence if you work on it and if you develop it, if you believe in it. If you're just running around with a crowd, you're not going to have any confidence. What are you going to have confidence in? You're just a number. The people that are the loners, the people that are the outcasts, the people like me, the people like some of you, we are the ones that have a uniqueness. We are the ones that have a consciousness about what the heck is going on with other people and within ourselves. And we are the ones that kind of advance in life on a spiritual, on a mental level. Then that's all that's important. Don't ever, okay, I can only repeat this, and I will repeat this on every video. Don't ever beat yourself up. It is not the right thing to do. So if you don't have any self-confidence, if you don't have anything, you have one thing. One thing. You are unique. And that's all you need. Your uniqueness is going to get you through life if you get in touch with your uniqueness and you build on it. And that's really what I did in a way. So anyways, fast forward. So yeah, I went through that whole self-improvement thing. That didn't work. Buddhism didn't work either. I went as far as becoming a Freemason. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I can show you my degree. So I was always looking for something where I would fit in. I spent, I think it was about 3 years getting my Master Mason degree. And I hate to say it got me nothing. I still didn't fit in. 3 years gone. What do you say? What do you say to that? I have nothing negative to say about Freemasonry. I just have something to say that I didn't fit in. I wanted to fit in. I tried to fit in, but I didn't fit in. So my uniqueness just went out the door. I took off my Freemason ring and I just started over again. So where was I at this point? Where am I right now? Well, I'm nowhere. I'm James Dean. I am still that loner. I'm still didn't fit in. I still have a certain uniqueness though. And what I have done is I made memories and I can watch them in my mind just like a movie. That is what you guys, this is how you guys should look at it. Make memories. You don't have to necessarily fit in. You make memories of your life by going through these different stages. Find something that you're interested in. Say you're interested in The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. Read the book. Try to apply that. Try to live in that moment. For me, it is very hard to do, but maybe it's not that hard it's not that hard to do for you guys. Try that. Try to find something that you can focus on in order to build your uniqueness. It doesn't have anything to do with finding a tribe, starting a family. I know what it feels like to be lonely. I know what it feels like not to fit in. And those are the things that you can change, but it's going to take yourself. Nobody else is going to make you fit in. Nobody else is going to make you belong. You already belong to yourself. You have somebody from the moment you were born till the moment you die. There's somebody with you every second of the day. Every moment, everywhere you go, when you go to sleep, when you get up, that person is there. And that person is you. So you and me and everybody else have one step. The first step is to get to know yourself. Who are you? What's your name? Where were you born? What were your parents like? Why are you lonely? Are you really lonely, or are you looking for something that is not there? Does belonging to a certain group going to take away that loneliness, or is it going to take away that despair? And I hate to say it, it probably won't, because that is inside yourself. That is inside of us, and that is something that you and me can maybe manage together. If you guys want to leave some comments, I will obviously read them, and I can maybe have some other topics that you guys would like to talk about or hear about. But the uniqueness is there. It's already there. You are unique. You are embracing it. Maybe not enough. Once you start embracing it, you're going to feel better. And you're going to realize, hey, I'm my own tribe. Why don't people come to me? They should be coming to me and want to hang around with me. I don't want to hang around with them. They should come to me and want to hang around. And the way you do that is by being unique and being sure of yourself. And that's how you attract people. You don't attract people by being insecure. We all insecure. Insecure people attract not much. They attract another insecurity. I'm insecure. Gosh, it is not easy for me to sit here in front of a camera and a light and a microphone and talk to you about my own insecurities. But my own insecurities, like I said, I decided to be a loner. It worked. I'm still lonely, but I was streaming for 6 years, so I made some connection, very little, but I did. Now I'm doing my YouTube thing in order to hopefully get through to somebody, because I don't think I ever got through to somebody streaming. I was streaming games, and I don't think anybody cared or anybody really got what I was trying to do. And that got very frustrating, and then that really affected my mental health. And then I literally just quit one day. I had about 3,100 followers on Twitch. I was streaming before that on Mixer, where I had about 2,000. So I had a good run at it, but I don't think I ever got across what I wanted to get across, and that is build a community that cared. Sorry to say that, but I failed. So here I am. Here I am trying again, and like I said, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then this is going to be my video diary. I can always leave this to my children or their children. If YouTube is still around, they're going to go, your grandfather, he was a cool cat, man. He started a YouTube channel when he was 60. You know what I mean? So it's all good. But just to kind of, in summary, stop trying to fit in. You don't have to fit into what? There's nothing to fit in. Embrace your uniqueness. Get to know yourself, because that's all you have to do, and that's all there is to do, and that's all that's important. Get to know your heart. Get to know your mind. Get to know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Once you get to know yourself, you're going to be more unique, because you have that power over the person that's walking down the street, because they don't know their emotions. They're not in touch with them. They don't know their feelings. They've never even thought about that. So the more you literally get to know yourself on a daily basis, the stronger you will be, the less feeling of loneliness you will have, and the less loneliness you feel, the less you want to fit in somewhere, because you got yourself. And it's not easy, guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that it's possible, and we can do this together. That's what I'm saying. Let's do this together. This is a beauty of the internet, because it is kind of I don't know where anybody is. You guys know I'm in Canada, I'm in Vancouver, but that's it. So you don't have to hold back if you want to say something in the comments. You don't have to hold back by coming back and see what I'm talking about tomorrow or the next day, because it's not there is no danger here. I know lots of people these days, they can't even say hi to somebody. And that's one thing I do always. I go to Starbucks, I order something, I go, hey, how you doing? I do that with everybody, and most people are so shocked by getting that. Again, that is a part of my uniqueness these days, is trying to get out there a little bit more and just bringing back that feeling of the 80s where people connected. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. It was funny. Do you know how people connected in the 80s? You guys probably going, we're at the bar. Oh, at the swimming pool. Oh, at the disco. No, the video store. The video store was the strangest place to meet people, but it was one of the most fun places ever. Blockbuster, long gone. We had a place called, oh my God, what was it called? It was on Cook Street in Victoria. Anyways, it'll come to me in a minute. Pick-a-Flick. It was called Pick-a-Flick. You go in there on a Friday night, and it is jammed with people trying to pick a video that they want to watch. Some people were coming back from the bar at that point. Some people had a smoke out, God knows what. And everybody was friendly. And you'd see somebody. It was so easy to make a conversation. You see somebody looking at a videotape. Yes, there were videotapes. I will show you this is what a videotape looked like. Anyways, probably people, we had beta, we had videotapes. Anyways, so it was such an easy opener. Hey, I've seen that movie before. This is a good movie, or, and then somebody would turn around and boom, you had an opener. That's it. You had something to talk about. Or somebody would come up to you, you holding this video, and you just standing there staring at it. That was my technique. Eventually, somebody will come up and go, you should rent that. Or they say, ooh, this is not that good. And then that's your opener. And you end up talking to people for 10 minutes, learning about their life. It wasn't about the video. It was about the fact that, the video that you were going to rent had been rented by somebody else. That person had seen it, and there is an instant bond. And we don't have video stores anymore. Sure, you can sit on Netflix. Sure, you can watch it, whatever. But you don't have a video store anymore. And they used to sell popcorn there, or drinks, or whatever, not alcoholic drinks, but like Sprite, 7-Up. So, you get a Sprite and a 7-Up, and you got a bucket of popcorn, and you're cruising through there, and you're trying to find a movie for a Saturday night, and the next thing you know is you're sharing the popcorn, you're talking about movies, and sometimes you go, hey, I'm going to watch this later, man. Let's go for a beer or something. That was the times that I miss the most. It was cool. It was such an easy opener. And so nowadays, when I feel like I want to talk to somebody, I don't know where to go. Sure, I can talk to somebody, the lineup at the supermarket, but they look at you like you're a freak. When I go to Starbucks, I say, hey, how's it going? And, boom, I order my whatever. And then I have this in hand. And then I go, well, thanks. And they, yeah, okay. And then I stand there. And then what? I can maybe try to find a table, sit down. And maybe some person will come and say, hey, is that seat free? And you're like, yeah, it is. And they take the chair and go somewhere else. And now I don't have anybody to talk to. That is the society we live in now. But whenever I'm at Starbucks or whatever, what I notice is not the average person. I notice a guy or girl that's unique. And they are embracing that uniqueness. And they stand out, and people want to talk to them. I think by being the most unique person, you will find your tribe, if you want to. Because you will only fit in with other unique people, and it's the unique people you want to talk to. Well, what's average Joe going to help you out with? You want to talk deep. You want to talk about your feelings. You want to talk about your emotions. You want to break out of that certain loneliness that you have. Well, who can you do that with? You cannot do that with the average person. You can do that with a person that has embraced their uniqueness, that has embraced their inner powers. I had a friend for 40 years. 40 years? 40 years. I can't even talk to him anymore because we broke up again. And I realized he was never my friend. I mean, that hurt. Is he a unique guy? Yeah, he's fairly unique. But all he did was blame me for things I said 30 years ago. How do you blame somebody that said something to you 30 years ago that I don't even remember because we were drunk? Come on, like, let's look at a bit more history here. Like, we've been friends for a long time. We've been through life together. And once again, I lost my tribe. He was kind of my tribe, but what was he? Could he talk about his feelings? No. Would he listen when I talked about my feelings? No. Was he there when I was the lowest in my life ever, where I contemplated suicide on a daily basis? Was he there for me? No. What does that say about him? I blamed myself for years over this, that it was all my fault and I did something wrong. And then one day it just opened up, and I said, I'm unique. I should have unique friends. I do have one unique friend, but he's not unique at all because he doesn't know he doesn't know how himself. He's scared of himself. He doesn't talk about himself. He doesn't talk about his feelings. He doesn't want to talk about death. These are all important things. At my age, death is a certainty now. It is not one of those things in 40 years. I'm not going to live another 40 years. Do I think about death every day? No, I don't. But I think about it more often now than I did before because, I've lived over half my life now. Does it bother me? No, not really. But that's a topic for another day. So I want you guys to embrace your uniqueness. If you want to, leave some comments below. And that would be great to maybe get it out. But I hope it made a little bit more sense why we should be unique, why we don't necessarily need to fit in. And if you guys would like to subscribe, there's a button. Just gotta click it. I wasn't gonna do that ever, but I did it. And I hope you guys have just a fantastic afternoon, and we'll see you guys later, okay? And I should learn how to say goodbye in Swahili, but I don't know. So anyways, you guys have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.